All right, so let's do a quick one here for La Quinta Resort and Club. Couple of these little map kiosk things. Not much to go over, just sort of giving you some ideas or some advice from what I can remember. We're doing this old school, taking it back in the day, get back in the Wayback Machine, the before times here. Just starting off with this picture. Just for reference, I mean, this is like one of the first things that I barely even remember doing, if at all. I believe these were already all done when I first started. So these are one of the first things I took pictures of. So this is the small version. These are my two examples or photos. And you can barely see the big one here, which, again, I don't know if we made these or somebody else made these, because these are supposedly steel and these are aluminum. I believe we made these because I kind of remember butcher paper patterns and stuff like that. So anyway, these two pictures help. Otherwise, I think JR sent you a link. They're in sales pics. There are current photos. Somebody, I think Johnny, went over and took pictures of these over there, so you can get a little more reference. But that's just an idea. So what you're going to do is lay of the land. You're just getting 1/4 inch parts. This is for the small. You got the scrollies there, and then you've got the two map plates there. You'll have the 1/2 inch parts for the bigger one there, and then this is where it all happens. So this is, like I said, this is taking it back. Nothing we can route that will Clico together. So you're gonna have to do this all on your own. You can do it. So you're gonna get one of each of these patterns, butcher paper, and that's going to allow you to lay this out and get it all squared up and figure out where everything goes when you go to tack it together. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. You're going to cap the ends of this one by one, and then get that all capped up. I would weld it shut, and that way you can grind and weld on it without the lords letting go, because you're going to have to weld directly to this once you get this put together. So you're going to have to chamfer this edge here on this 1x3. You're going to have to weld that good. You're going to weld under here and all that, and then grind it smooth. So you're going to need to make sure it stays together. But like I say, you want to make sure that this is all capped first, and then you can go ahead and make it look like it's all one piece. And then once you get that all taken care of, you're just going to be butt welding the frame for the actual map plate right there. At which time you're going to make sure that you can also fit these in there, and then you're going to burn all your scrolls. You're going to make sure all the scrolls are in the middle of the metal there. So you're going to make sure that you put your 1/4 inch on one side, lift it up off the table, and burn it all in place. Same thing with the little guy. You've got your pieces here. So here's your cut list. You've got your 1x1 by 1/8 inch square tube. So you got your two legs for the big dudes. You got the legs for the little guys. You got your 1/2x1 just for the little pieces in between, and you have a single piece of 1x3 for the top of the big map. These guys here are compound cut. So not to make it more confusing or anything, I'm just letting you know that you're going to turn these and do 18 on one end, 45 on the other. So that's laid out here. So looking at it from the top, you have part A, part B, and part C. So obviously you just do your normal 45 for that part, but then you're going to make sure you turn these the proper way, so that way you get an 18-degree cut so that it slants down. So A and C will be cut opposite each other, but you got to make sure that you turn it the proper way to do your 18-degree. That's why it says turn 90. So anyway, so A and C have compound cut, but make sure that it ends up being 23 and 3/8 all the way around. And then that way you can put your map plate right on top. So again, these are all 100% welded. You're just going to tack, like this piece here is separate from all of it. So you're going to put that in there. You're going to burn it there. You're going to burn it there. Burn it to itself here. Burn, and then put this guy in there, and then make sure that touches and burn it there. And yeah. So it's going to have that wrought iron look. There's nothing pretty about it per se. I mean, it is, but you want to make sure it looks nice, but it's all going to get painted black. So then my advice too is, if you hadn't done this yet, is you're going to be putting little straps. Now the straps help hide where the welds are, and it just gives it that finished look. So going back to the pictures, and again, you want to reference the ones that Johnny took as well, but you can see where there's these wraps here. Now, if I recall, I believe those are either 050 or they might even be 040. But all you do is stomp a piece on the shear and just get it to where, you start on the front and then wrap it around and kind of get it to where it's close on the back to where they kind of either meet or come together. And then you're going to shoot a couple of tacks on the back to keep it shut. But you just sort of just kind of, use your hands and wrap it around there, or you can use a soft bonker and just try to bonk it around. But yeah, that's what those are. So if you see these, that isn't like to actual full size or anything. Like you just sort of, it doesn't have to be exactly like this. It could be a little bit wider and maybe it's a little narrower or something, but the idea is you'll sort of be covering up your weld here. On some of these as well, like on this piece, this is one piece. So when the router comes in and kind of rounds this out, then both you can try to open it up a little bit, or you use this to try to hide that. Let's see. Just grab these nodes. But anyway, so that sort of hides the fact that the router left that kind of, opened up there or whatever. So that's the idea behind these things. When you see these little straps here on the paper pattern, you'll see them. So where you see those is meant to get that little wrap. When you go to do this guy, so this one's pretty straightforward. Use your paper pattern, lay everything out, get all tacked together, get this frame welded on this side, and then bonk it up here. And this little thing means weld all the way around. So you're just going to burn it because that's really the main strength. So you're just going to set it right on there and burn it all the way around. And then you're going to burn this really well there and there to support this. And then you just tack or just burn these, here and here. And that's that. This one's a little more funky. This guy here, you're going to have your cuts. And you're going to, that's a 15-degree cut there. Actually, you know what? Let's do that right now. Yep. Forgot your 15-degree cut there, didn't you? That's what I thought. So you're going to put that 15-degree cut and you're just going to cap it. Just like you saw on the other one there. Or no, not cap it. This one gets welded directly to it. That's right. So that's 15 there. What? And that's 15 there. There we go. All right. So that's updated there. So you got 15 degree on that 55, 15 degree on that 55. So you'll just end it right there, burn it all the way around, even on the back there. And then you'll go ahead and put this little plate right on top and just lay it flat on its back on your table, and then line this up and then tack it and get it started. Make sure that it's straight, and then go ahead and put some nice welds along the back and some on the front. And then you're going to have to kind of grind it out, make it look sexy, because then they'll just Bondo it. So you can see where that seam is nice and clean. So if you're going to put some welds in there, go ahead and put some welds, but make sure that you can grind them smooth. And then that's all just going to get a nice big, finger blob of Bondo along the front edge and then on the back edge too. But it needs to be welded decently. So make sure that it's on there nice and, you put a good strong welds. So once you get that, the other part of this one is going to be tricky. Is this is 1 by 1/8 inch flat bar. And then you have to kind of bend it into this scroll. So use your paper pattern, your butcher paper patterns that you're going to get, and use that to lay this out and make 2 of them. And then the same thing here. You bend that, you weld this and put it all the way up. And then turn this on its side, and that gives you where you want to, get this lined up. Put it on the butcher paper pattern, and then tack it, put it in spot, and then you can burn it really well. You can burn along the top here and burn along the bottom completely, and then sort of smooth it out. I believe in the picture it shows that a little bit. Yeah, like right here. So that comes down. Go ahead and put a full bead right there, and then you can just kind of smooth it. And then you can tack along the side here. Anyway, so you're just going to be using these strategic tack points, but you're going to have to make sure that they're welded on there really good as well. So it's kind of a balancing act between leaving your welds and completely grinding them off and losing all the strength. So, but use your paper pattern again to lay out where these go. So you'll just put your 1/2 inch bar here, put in the little decorative piece, and then lay it out that way using the paper pattern. And again, you're just going to be using your little pieces there, your little wrap pieces, and use your either 040 or 050, wrap those around, tack them from the back. And then there is one piece here, so you'll do like a wrap piece and try to get it probably from the top, wrap it around, and then put the seam on the bottom, and then you can just tack it really well. Or you might investigate possibly fudging this one where you just do a 90. You do a little piece here, like a little bend here and one all the way across, and then do a mirror piece that has one piece all the way across on the bottom, and then like stitch tack the seam closed and then shape it shut and clean it up so it'll look like you wrapped it. But you just do one bend, one bend, and one bend, and one bend, and then wrap it like that. That might work too. But I think I remember possibly, wrapping these. But again, you have these in the way. So if that's the way you got to do it too, maybe if you do like a C-channel piece where you do a little bend, straight little bend, and then close it on the back with another piece, and then stitch the seam here closed and grind it. So whatever, as long as it gets done, gets painted black, and it looks like the pictures. Again, check sales pics. I think JR sent you a link. If not, you can find it. That has even more pictures of this. So, but it's all on you guys, man. Old school, doing it like that. So if you have any questions, hit me up.